Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are at 24 days since I switched from Nvidia over to AMD. Now, apparently you guys aren't getting tired of these videos because you keep watching them, so I'll keep making them like I said I would. Today, just did a video using the AMD 7900 XT on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So as what I did with this one, I was just gonna not do it. I wasn't gonna cover this game at all because they don't have the ray tracing available on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for AMD GPUs right now, which is pretty irritating, to be completely honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. It's one of those things where ain't no way this game would have launched without support for Nvidia. Or I mean, even Intel got support for this, man. It's only AMD. And the funny thing is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has ray tracing on the PlayStation 5. On the PlayStation 5. So it's one of those things where I almost didn't cover this game just because of that, but I decided, that hey man, there's people out there that want to see how this game is going to run on an AMD GPU, and lo and behold, it's actually a fairly smooth experience. I'm not running into any problems. I'm going to be doing a longer video tonight. I'm going to run through about the first hour of the game. I'm going to be doing this at native 4K. We're not going to use any upscaling or anything like that. um we're going to go through a little while of this game, just so you can kind of see. I'll have my frame graphs up. I'll have everything. I want you to see the kind of experience that you're going to get. And the thing that I've noticed the most about the AMD GPU since I've had this setup, and seeing as the whole build is basically AMD now, it appears to be giving me I want to say smoother overall experience. I mean, gosh, dude, Remnant 2 runs pretty dang smooth on there. Nice flat line. Um, I was playing around with Assassin's Creed Valhalla earlier too, on this new LG C2 that I picked up. And it's funny, man. If I'm looking down at the ground, I get a flat 120 FPS at 4K. Flat 120 FPS. The line is just nice and beautiful and flat on my frame time or whatever. But then when I look up and I see the open world, it's like 110, and it's just and it just looks like this big long thing across this, and I'm like, what the freak is going on with that? So that's something I got to kind of figure out to see what's going on with that. But it's not stuttery. I'm not losing any type of frame rate. I'm not getting like really super big spikes or anything in there. So that was kind of interesting. That was kind of interesting to see. um the overall experience from switching from Nvidia over to AMD, or deciding to buy a new G, or deciding to build a PC and go with AMD, I have found the experience over the last 24 days to be a lot more gamer focused. I feel like they want you to get in there, and I feel like they want you to take advantage of the settings that these GPUs and the software, the Adrenaline software, have to offer. I feel a lot closer to gaming with this setup than I did with the Nvidia 3080. Now the 3080 was a great card. It did really really well on everything I threw at it, except for these newer games. The newer games that are coming out, like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, should probably run pretty good on that card. I would at least hope so. Because if I'm getting about 60 something ish up to 100 frames a second on this GPU, I wonder how that card would do. But I mean, you're gonna have DLSS and all of that stuff, so it'll probably be okay. It'll probably be okay. And it'll probably, honestly, it'll probably run like Spider-Man, to be completely honest with you. And I wasn't super happy with the performance of that card with that game. It's weird, man. It is an interesting time we live in when we've got consoles that are outperforming some of these freaking cards in stability, in frame rate. I mean, obviously not graphics. I mean, the 3080 can destroy PlayStation 5 and the Series X, rasterization wise. But when you have these consoles looking as good as they do with some of these games, and then the PC version, like really struggling to like meet that because of, limitations of, like VRAM or something else, it is kind of to a point where like some people would probably just be like, you know what, man, why don't I just get a PS5? Why don't I just get an Xbox Series X so I don't have to deal with all of this nonsense? Because that pretty much games are going to be fairly decently optimized for these consoles, but man, we're already talking about mid-gen refreshes when it comes to these things. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that I'm absolutely satisfied with my AMD graphics card. And that's kind of the way I've been looking at it too. I was asking myself today while I was at work, I was like, are you really satisfied with this AMD GPU? Is this something that you feel like you could hang on to for a while? And just being able to see how Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart runs on this, even without ray tracing, because if I'm running it native and I'm doing really good, and then I turn on like a FSR or Intel XESS. XESS is actually pretty awesome on these AMD cards. It looks great. It's almost like you don't even miss DLSS because you have XESS. You can use FSR. FSR2 quality and balanced are looking fine. They look fine to me. I'm perfectly okay with the quality that quality and balanced bring when it comes to FSR. When I really want just, when I really want that extra performance, like in a game like Remnant 2, where like, using balanced FSR is a bit, or using performance or ultra performance is just not really good. Sometimes I can pop on XESS performance and it looks as good. It looks just as good as balanced or better in FSR. So I can just throw that on and I can get that, that extra frame rate. This is cool, man. I do like this card, and I do like the fact that I have options if I'm really struggling. So I mean, I feel like that alone is going to help with the longevity of this life. And now that I've got this LG C2 TV, I will be checking 4K a lot more. Like I'm going to take 4K a lot more seriously. It just with this card, just because it is kind of marketed as a 4K card, and it is a 7900. So I do feel like it is in that 4K bracket. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover the 4K. We're going to cover the 1440p. I will be doing a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart video at 1440p so that you guys can see exactly what type of image quality that you're going to get. I'm going to tell you right now, man, making these 4K videos, it takes up a lot of space, a lot of room, and it takes over 2 freaking hours to upload these to YouTube at 4K, especially because I keep doing these longer ones. But I want you to see and understand exactly what type of performance you're going to get out of these cards. You can watch the little benchmarks, if you want to watch the little people's like 5-10 minute little benchmark videos, whatever, you can do that too. I don't care. But I feel like if I give you like a significant section of a game and show you how it's running, I feel like you can get a better understanding of what that is. And if you have requests, put them in the comments section. Put them in the comments section if you want to see it run at a certain rate, like what you want to see, how much longer or shorter the video you want is. I want to build the right type of benchmarks for you guys. I don't like, I mean, if we buy a graphics card, we're pretty much that's what we have. And I want to be able to show you guys this. I want to take this more seriously. I want to do better, for the community. It's going to help me do better for the console games. I'm going to start taking this a lot more seriously. I'm going to start putting in the chapter sections, all of those things, so that my content is better. And now that I have a graphics card that I actually feel like I can do all this and put out 4K quality content, I'm going to start doing that. I'm planning on upgrading my camera. I mean, my camera right now is 4K, but I'm trying to figure out how to get it to actually record 4K. so that I can output that. I wanted to just be able to do 1440p content, but now I feel like I'm in a situation where I can start doing the 4K. I'm going to get me an 8 terabyte SSD for this so that I can start recording all that, because it takes a lot of space. And right now I've got one dedicated terabyte to go toward like all my recordings and stuff. So once that starts filling up, I have to go through and I have to start deleting stuff. So I usually just mass delete a lot of files, and sometimes a lot of my gameplay gets caught up in that, and that sucks. But I want to have enough space so that I can start doing these 4K videos, start putting out better quality content for you, start showing you what this card can do as the new updates come out for it. I'm super excited for Starfield, and I want to be able to put out a lot of 4K 60 content for that game. I want to try to utilize the features of this card and really make it show you what this can do and what AMD can do, because I'm actually quite surprised at just how good this experience has been with the AMD card. Like I didn't know what to expect at first, guys. I really did not know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to get in here and I was going to hate it, and I was going to have a mess. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was fully prepared after trying this card out to go buy a 4080. I was fully prepared to go buy that. If this didn't work out, that was going to be the next purchase. I was just going to keep the AMD card and go buy the 4080 and have them both. But I'm actually quite satisfied. I'm actually satisfied with this graphics card right now, and I want to give it a fair chance. I want to see, just what we can get out of this, and I noticed there's not a lot of people out there making AMD content like this. I noticed that there's not a lot of people out there that are doing just dedicated AMD content for people. So especially like a gaming channel like me, a gamer that actually plays video games. You're not getting that. There's like nowhere to get that. I mean, there is, but I mean, it's like maybe the person doesn't have the greatest personality or something like that. I'm not saying that I'm likable by everybody, but I feel like I'm pretty cool, man. I feel like I'm pretty cool. I still got that like old guy that thinks he's young, cool. Like, I don't know. I'm just joking, man. I want to be able to create cool content for everybody. I do. Mainly my focus on this channel has pretty much always been and always pretty much will be console centric. I love my Xbox. I love my PlayStation. I love my Nintendo Switch. I'm like a console fanboy, man. Like, I'm a console fanboy that's playing around with PC stuff. And I like it. I like it all, and I think they can all coexist for me. I love playing on the PC. That LG TV that I got is definitely a freaking a blast. I love being able to finally put my Xbox on there and get my 4K with my 120 hertz and my Dolby Vision. Simply incredible. Simply incredible, and I love it. It looks great. I love that. That's like the one feature on the Vizio TV that I was never able to get, was the 4K 120 with Dolby Vision. And so that right there just puts that LG C2 at a higher spot for me. I mean, when it comes to like videos and TV and watching on there, dude, I love that Vizio. It's freaking awesome. It's got great picture quality. All of the things that like all of the things that I love about the Vizio TV are are simple. Like, I love the Vizio upscaler. I think it's incredible. I like the LG upscaler. I think they're both great. I think they're both great. I do tend to like the upscaler a little bit more in the Vizio. I just think it has a little bit better uh when you turn on like super resolution or whatever on the Vizio, it just has a way of making that image just look more detailed, a little bit more detailed with the LG. It works really good, but I don't think it does a really good job at like upscaling from a 4K signal. I think it does better at 1080p. Like, if you're sending it a 1080p signal, I think the LG is really good. I think the LG might be a little bit better than that Vizio with that. I know we're getting into TVs now. Welcome to Frogboy X1 Gaming, man. We go through everything that we can. Like, I can't write a script, man. I've tried to write a script. Every once in a while I'll be able to do bullet points, but I still tend to mess that up. I like to just talk to you. I like to say what's on my mind. I like to talk about things in a way that hopefully maybe everybody can understand. I like to be there and support the community. I like to have fun, man. I'm a gamer, and like sometimes I don't have time to work my full-time job and to play the games and do all of this stuff and sit here and try to write scripts and super edit everything and all that. Like I don't have time for that, man. Like I don't have time for that. I want to be able to do good, and I want to be able to do good for everybody. So I hope you guys can bear with me and just, come along for the ride, man. Like I'm not perfect, and I never said I was perfect. I'm not a super expert, and I never said I was an expert. I'm a gamer just like you. I'm a consumer just like you. I buy things that I think are going to be good for me and my budget and everything else. So I don't think there's going to be any major purchases the rest of this year, except for probably Quest 3. Everything else will be software related. I'm thinking. I think that that'll pretty much be it. Um, I think we're definitely going to stick with this AMD graphics card for sure. The more I play around with it, guys, the more I get an opportunity to play things. Like every weekend since I've had it has just been better and better and better. And like getting new games like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and playing it and having a smooth experience, or being able to play, any of the other games that I've been playing this whole time. Like, wow, it's such a smooth experience, and I feel really good about it. So I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see the new updates that come out for this card and just how this experience grows. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.